Cheers. Just water. Nothing overly exciting here in the glass. One thing I haven't done is drank alcoholic beverages on stream yet. I've done it while in Discord and other people's streams, but shh, don't tell them. How you doing, everybody? I'm Gravity. And I'm glad to be here. I am playing Banished tonight. Something I have not streamed before. Something I thought would be cool. Kind of a chill stream on a quiet night here on Thursday. I managed to stream Lord of the Rings Online, probably one of my favorite games. Maybe my favorite game of all time. Certainly the game I've put the most hours into. But this is Banished. I have a town being built. I have submarine sheep. Ready? Here they go. Subnautical sheep. I guess submarine works, right? They're submarine. They're in the water. Oh, and they jump back up here, and then they're going to go flying, going for a dive. Pathfinding, when animals move pastures, pathfinding isn't terribly clever. So, I got a trader. Hold on. Exciting stuff. A trader has arrived. A merchant. Sorry. A merchant has arrived at your trading post. Sorry, a merchant has arrived at a trading post, because of course you can have more than one. What does this guy have? Excuse me. And I'm eating some peanuts. So, forgive me while I crunch. He's got corn. There's a few seeds. I've got a reasonable amount of seeds and crops. Seeds and trees. I need a few. I'm hoping for just plain old wheat. Because when it comes to making flour, I like to be traditional and just do wheat. But sometimes you get a random selection every time the merchant comes by. And I think the merchant's coming by twice a year. Every time the merchant comes by, you get a random set of things you can buy, and you don't really get to control. You can purchase things, but you can't purchase seeds. You can't purchase specific. Oh, you can. So I could tell Carolyn, I guess. I could tell Carolyn to come back and bring me seeds. But I never do that, because when they do come back, they're expensive. And I just kind of like to play there's hardly any game here, so the only game is, ooh, what's the trader going to bring me? So I just kind of wait. So I think I'm going to take corn, because I don't have a cereal grain, and corn counts as one. And I'm going to buy that. Whoops. Way too much. Oh, no, I didn't have enough. Now I got to do math. You must trade an additional 188. That's like 61. Really? Oh yeah, it'd be more than... There's no automatic number that says here. I only stock charcoal. I only trade charcoal. If you're unfamiliar with this game, trading is just bartering. There's no currency. Although there's some very significant mods built for it that sort of implement currency, but not really. So 1168 probably. 67. I was close. 1167. There we go. All right, and now I have corn seeds. Not that I'm going to do anything with those quite yet. Oh, I can dismiss this guy. Then he comes back sooner because he'll hang around. So the merchant will hang around in game and then come back. And then, so he'll hang around for like 3 months and then come back 6 months later. So if you dismiss him right away, then you get him. So unpause it and he'll take off. Goodbye, merchant. He'll just go right through those rocks. What am I doing? So I'm moving my farm. This is where I started. This was the original. When I started the game, this was already placed, this storage barn. So this was basically right where I started. There wasn't much room here on this little piece of land, so I built a bridge. I started forestry in here, because getting forestry is important to build things, obviously, because you need wood. But even more importantly, you need heating. Some kind of heating fuel. So originally firewood is good, and then a little later you can make charcoal, which is the best, one of the best things to make for just home heating fuel. So that's what I'm doing today. And then I went north, so my industry is over here. So I got a bunch of mines. This will be my iron ore mine, but you get so much iron ore off the landscape. I still haven't even ever put anybody to work here. I already have a lot of iron ore. I have 725 still. That just doesn't seem to go down. I have 365 coal, which comes out of here. Charcoal. Wood gets turned into charcoal. Charcoal gets turned into furnace fuel, which is an industrial product. And then the forge turns iron ore and furnace fuel into iron. And then the blacksmith turns a log and iron into coal into a hardened tool. So all my tools are top quality. Yes, they are top quality tools. So I got a good supply of tools. I've gotten animals. I do some hunting, so some of my leather still comes from a hunting lodge. Here's a hunting lodge. Old hunter cabin, actually. And then I got some animals. So this west side over here, I just call this north, because when you start the game, there's no actual compass in the game. But basically, this map stays fixed as you rotate the camera. So I just assume up is north, because, you know, I live in the northern hemisphere, and we all think up is north. So. Oh no, Alinda the Gatherer has died of old age. And Elena has replaced Alinda as a gatherer. Nice work, Elena. Way to pick that up. So I've started to build out farming over here. So I have this pasture, which is set for 12 Frisian cows, i.e. milk cows. They obviously produce milk. Most of the mods that went into this game are very interesting because there wasn't a lot of game mechanic and structure that went into the mods. I play the Colonial Charter mod, certainly one of the biggest ones. And the same guys that put out that mod put out something called Mega Mod, which is also quite big. It is true to its name. It is added a very large amount of buildings and whatnot into this little thing. So anyway, this particular pasture is currently only giving me milk. But when the animals actually finish, so what did I say? There was 12 of 12 now. So when you set a limit on a pasture, the animals will grow and fill it, and then when one is born, they'll take one out, and then you'll get meat and leather off it as well. These guys, same thing. The side effect of having sheep is wool, and then when they die off, you get leather from sheep. I can't remember if you do or not. I don't recall. You just might. I could check. Are they at? Oops, that's not them. You. No, they're just doing wool, and I've got this set for 30. Let's go 16 of, let's say 20. So we'll grow our sheep to 20. And, oh, I got a new orchard. A lot of these things have come from mods. What should I plant in my orchard? Oh, I could do white mulberry. White mulberry is interesting because you can grow silkworms, and silkworms, of course, eat mulberry leaves from the white mulberry tree. So the silkworms yeah, I could do that. I could stock up on white mulberry leaves. That would give me silk, but I have no immediate need for silk. What I really need is linen or cloth. Oh, that's what I did. I remember what I did yesterday. These games, probably one of the hardest part of Banished is that you can play a map or a scenario over months and months. It's sort of like a model train set. You never really finish. The game itself, once you get a lot of things like set and running, the game will just play for years. People in the Reddit community and stuff around Banished, they've talked about the fact that they built up a town and then run it for like 100 years without touching it. And all the people in the town will just handle it. Now, to do that, you'd have to have disasters turned off because the townspeople will not take care of disasters. You have to do that yourself. I have disasters turned on for this game. And my trader has returned spinach. Spinach is a lovely food to have. I usually just pick food that I like to eat in real life. I do like spinach. There's a ton of different variety, but I don't tend to get everything because I just don't find you need it. Oh, apricots would be good to have if I don't have apricots. I do have apricots. I have white mulberry. Bamboo is another source. You can grow bamboo and use it in things like fuel. Obviously, it's not a food. You don't eat bamboo. At least not in this game. I think I'm just going to let this guy go. I don't really need any of those. And I just made a joiner who's making me some furniture so I can make some homeware supplies. So I can make basic homeware so I can start upgrading some of my houses. Anyway, what was I doing? Get something in here. Chestnut. I probably have a lot of these already. I have a few apricots. I have a lot of chestnuts. Let's do some apricots in here. I don't think I want the silkworm. I don't want to do silk quite yet. So we'll put somebody to work there. They will plant it. Orchards take time to grow before they harvest, as opposed to crop fields, which will harvest immediately. I'm going to build some roads just so I can better understand how I'm laying things out. Let's build that road. By building a road there, when I try and I'm going to build some more fields. Because I want to grow some cotton. So that is my available land. This little area is not going to be very useful. Probably don't want this road here. Now I'm confusing myself. Alright. Oh, and cotton is different. So some of these fields... Wait, I thought I had cotton seeds. I do. The modding community has taken this game further than is imaginable. So there's two types of fields. There's a plantation field and a farming field. So this one is our crop field. This one's a crop field, and it works on the food limit because a field can only work on one limit. So the limit is not based. The limit is based on the field, not what goes into the field. So this field will not get harvested if your food has hit the food limit. So the plantation actually follows a different limit. It follows the limit of textiles, I guess? Textiles or something like that. Alright, two fields up here in the north. This is my market. Your market has a covered circle. See the covered circle? Big yellow circle. You want your houses to be in that circle. Other things can be in the circle, which is fine. But it's more efficient for your houses to get their inventory. So this house has lots of inventory. It has Freem, Wendelin, and Cameronica. They got awesome names in this game. Truly, some of the best. Freem is a vendor, which basically means he works at this market. Wendelin, and a dude. Sex and gender in this game is extremely simple. It is just simply male and female, and all males mate with females. All males males mate with females. And then they have one child whose job it is to currently be a child. So these plantations will take a while to build. When you put something down, plantations are pretty easy. Plantations and crop fields are just remove. There's no building. It's just basically you clear a plot of land. You build something, it's a little bit different. Oh, I know what I was going to do too. I was going to build a butcher and see how much. Oh yeah, I have 1,600 mutton. So I was going to build a butcher. So this is sort of like going to be a kind of a little farming community around here. So I think I'm going to put a butcher. It's kind of like old school, right? It's like, what do I want here? I'm not sure what I want there yet. Maybe I'll put the butcher down in here somewhere. What I should do is start by clearing some of these resources out. I can remove all of these resources and just clear out this little plot of land. Now, people will come along and do that. That's laborers. In my profession window up here, I have 7 laborers and 3 of 2 builders. There's a whole bunch more. These are all the different occupations in the game. Typically, the occupations that depend on a particular building, like this market, needs a vendor. I've set its max workers to 1, and then the total global vendors to 4, because I have 4 markets. So there's each market only has one vendor in it right now. So if you're unfamiliar with this game, it's really just about building. There isn't really there's no goals to accomplish other than not to have everybody die. Having everybody die is actually possible. But for the most part, you just end up building a city, and you sort of build out. Like I said, I started here. If you think about it, this is pretty nice little land. I got some. I'm not quite happy with the way that this turned out. It's a bit crowded, but I've got a little lake town that I'm building here. That I'm starting to build. These houses are all basic. They can be upgraded. Oh, that's another thing that I need. I need hemp. I need hemp seeds as well. And once I get hemp seeds, I can grow hemp and make rope. And then I can upgrade these buildings to residences. But it's largely just about getting enough stuff so everybody survives, and then getting slightly better stuff so you can grow your population. You want to get schools set up. I have 71 adults, 9 students, and 22 children. I don't know why the children and students are so... That's a pretty big difference in number. It shouldn't be that bad. The population generally does swing. You can see it in my little graphs. That is food. If I look at population, that's 5 years. Actually, that's pretty flat. That's relatively flat. So it's not bad, but I got the red line is children, so I got a bit of a baby boom here. And it looks like I got sort of another one again. I don't know how that happened. It was probably had to do with housing. I have 34 homes, but 41 families. So that's not good. I need to get a lot more. And I have another merchant. Trade Leghorn. So these are chickens. The trade... Again, the mods have actually done a pretty good job of this. The mods have created, when you grow animals in the game, you can't trade the animal. The animal will always be butchered, and you'll end up with animal parts. You'll end up with meat, you'll end up with leather. But if you actually just want to trade, like here, I have chickens. Actually, I have a chicken field. I go and look at my chicken field. I get feathers, chicken, and eggs, and bone meal, apparently, occasionally. How about that? But the trade leghorns are basically when they will grow like an animal, but when they harvest, they just become an animal that you can then trade. So you can actually grow them and then sell them back to the trader. A lot of people will move their game. Some people will play the game where it's all agriculture. So instead of doing mines themselves, they'll set up trade. You can actually play the game differently, significantly differently than I do. You can actually set up a trader that will always buy all of your iron ore or all of your iron. So you would never actually create the industry to create those things. You could just skip by it. I don't. I try to become entirely self-sufficient. So growing things simply for trade is not something that I do, so I'm just going to skip that. All right, a plantation. It is early autumn, so there's no point in putting a farmer to work quite yet. The plantation soil looks a little bit different than this soil. And as I said before, it's the textiles limit. So these limits in the game are kind of weird. I'm just going to bump up my textile limit. 1,200. Oh, I need some more houses. I can build 2 more houses here. I was planning to do that anyway. So these 6 housing spots were meant for... Start with that one. We're meant for all of these types of stone houses. They all upgrade into a country house. So I'll build one there. Flip him around. And build one there. And then I'll have 6 homes up here, which will basically always guarantee me 2 adults in each home. So I will have 12 adults. And 12 adults will give me enough people to... You only need like 1 for field. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1 for each of these pastures. 7. There's probably going to be more here. But basically it's a very easy way to... kind of plan out your city. There's a cool tool in the game that actually shows you how far people walk to work. And you can click on a place of work and it'll show you where its workers are coming from. Obviously they'll always try and live close by their work, which is a good thing. And then you want their houses to be near a market so they get everything they need. So they spend less time walking around and they're more productive. So I can click on all these buildings and say, well, where do all these people live? This is sort of my, what would I call it? It's like a vocational area. Artisan. It's probably like the artisan neighborhood right here. So I have a building supplier, a homeware supplier. I got a chandlery, which makes candles. Candles are used to upgrade mines. And I can trade some of them off. I probably have too many candles. But it's pretty easy getting a candle. You just, in early game, you can create an apiary. So this is like early game farming, and a lot of this stuff will probably end up moving. What else do I have over here? I have a joiner, which is making me furniture. And a potter that's making me pottery. And a lot of that stuff just goes back into the furniture and the pottery or for the homeware supplier. So to get the really nice houses, you have to build this more advanced thing. So there's quite a long, like for example, pottery is made from clay and furnace fuel. Clay is just from a shore house right here. This guy's just digging clay. And furnace fuel. So furnace fuel comes from over here. This is my fuel refinery. They take charcoal and they produce furnace fuel, which is high heat fuel for industrial use. This guy is my stacks burner. He takes logs and makes charcoal. This guy hidden away inside this forest is the forester. The forester, there's 3 of them in here. Probably don't need... Yeah, they both... The people that work here will just both plant and cut down trees. So if I look at... Where'd my forester go? I can actually select this guy. He's not doing anything. None of these people are doing anything. There's very little for my foresters to do. I probably have too many, which is fine. It's good to... They will plant trees, and trees take years to grow. So it's good to keep them well employed. My herbalist hangs out. We'll go and collect herbs and then help people keep healthy. Anyway, there's certainly a very rich... Oh no, Lynn the Stonecutter has died of old age. And Ashawana the Hunter has also died of old age. Ashawana was replaced by Carol, and Lynn was replaced by Trice. So, over here I have kind of more... Wow, I got a lot of trees over here, wow. But in this area I have my glassworks, which is making me glass, which helps to build building supplies, so I can build more advanced buildings, so I can get more advanced stuff, so I can build more advanced buildings and get more advanced stuff. It's a never-ending cycle. My little quarry. That little guy's just chopping stone. At any rate, oh, I need another church. Churches make people happy. This one's full. It has 75 members. I have a population of 100 exactly. So I could use another church. My goal is to make this more of a city center. So I could actually build out a very elaborate church. And of course you can build out... Do we have a very elaborate church in here somewhere? There's a central church. That one's actually fairly straightforward as far as supplies go. Obviously I can't build it here in the middle of the lake. I have an old church. Oh, that one's actually really nice. And I realize we're like sort of populating a new island here, but... Oh, I like that one. That would actually look cool next to my little lake town. I could put like a nice church over here and then a college or something like that. I have a chapel. Chapel's nice too. Small chapel. A seafarer's shrine. That's funny. Seafarer's shrine. For whatever reason, immediately the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald jumped into my mind. The church bell rang 29 times for each man on the Edmund Fitzgerald. Alright, so I've cleared some space here just to get a better idea of what I'm looking at. I still need a butcher. So let's build a butcher. Need a sheep butcher. Right there. I'll build him right there. So this building takes... So I'd removed this whole area already. So it's the remove step is 0 of 0. So it's fairly straightforward. And then it's going to take 10 logs, 2 stone, and 8 lumber. Lumber is just made from logs. I have a lumber mill over here. There's my lumber mill. It spends a lot of time off, which is what the little stop sign is. It is currently off because it runs against the construction limit, which is more lumber than I want, and they make lumber like really fast for some reason. Again, that's sort of a mod setting. The lumber mill comes from the mod, not from anything else. It's not, the lumber mill is part of the original game. To give you an idea of how big the mod is that I put in here, most of these hot bars would have like 5 or 6 things in them, not 35. Everything else in this game has been added by a mod. The original game, I think, was 250 megs, but the mod that I'm using is 2.5 gig. So it's, you know, bite size, it's 10 times the size of the original game. It's very it's beyond impressive with what everybody did with this game, mod-wise. Alright, cotton. I need to grow cotton. It is late autumn. It won't get planted until early early spring. But that's alright. So, cotton, add a farmer. Cotton, add a farmer. This is probably far too many cotton fields to start with, but that's fine. Generally, with things like crops, you really don't want to miss on the low side because, you know, I have to wait for spring to plant and I have to wait till fall to harvest. And if you missed on the low side, you have to wait for the next year to come around. It's not something you can tweak easily. So I got some food going on out here. I don't know if I can throw more fields up here. I probably can. I could probably go into this stretch of land too. Although this bit of land would actually be good for a piece of pasture. It's out of the way, it's off in the corner. You can imagine it's like a ranch. Right, somebody really wanted to be a rancher, but wants his quiet and peace would like go off into this corner, a little piece of land here. Food production. All the pastures that I've made all look, these are the original pastures, and I like them. They come with the fence. They come with the little building, right? This whole thing is just built out. But there's actually a few cool little... The mods have actually done kind of some cool things. Oh no! Stebbins, the stonecutter, has died of old age. Wait, somebody else named Trice has replaced Stebbins as a stonecutter. I wonder if it's the same one. Oh, Blair the Hunter has died of old age. So I now have only 36 families. So I did lose some people in the last whatever 20 minutes that we've been talking here. That's the standard pasture. But what's cool is that they have a fenceless pasture. And I think they have a fenceless invisible pasture. So I can actually, you'll notice that the ground is different. This texture on the ground is different than just the plain ground. So one thing you can do is you can actually build a pasture that doesn't have any graphical adornment to it. It just becomes empty. So if I did that up here, it would look like I had animals just kind of roaming around here, which actually might look kind of cool. So I'm going to see if I can do that. Transparent fields. Fenceless. And there's slope conforming. A fenceless pasture that is slope conforming. So slope conforming pastures will sink all the ground to one level. I don't really want that. This guy tops out at 30 by 30. This one also comes with a building. I didn't want one with a building. Oh, there we go. That's the one that I want. So, the trick in this game, this is the hard part, because if I build a standard pasture, I still get a building spot. And the building spot is important because it's where the worker goes to work the pasture. And I want it to be close to the house. I don't want it to be up top left here. I actually want it to be bottom right. So I'm hoping that where'd my transparent stuff go? Right here. Yeah, I think I have it set right. There, that's what it'll look like when I'm finished. Except they'll remove everything. Oh, it's funny. It still takes 116 logs to build it. I don't know what they're putting the logs into, but apparently they're going to put logs into it. I don't need to start this quite yet, because I don't really need... I don't need this, and in fact, I don't want to start it yet, because there's no way to get there. So the other thing that I can do is I can build some crop fields up here if they'll fit. And they will. So I can put a crop field there. I get another one in here? Can I? Maybe? I can. I don't like to put it right up against. You can see the... Maybe you can see it in the bottom right of my little green square. There's a red. I don't like to put it right up against it's non-passable terrain. And I like to make sure that the workers have room to walk around. Otherwise they might get stuck and it might break or it might bug out. Or just something worth avoiding. Having them in this orientation is efficient, and I like to be efficient. The worker just does a better job of it. The game isn't that clever. Alright, I think this one's gonna work. So let's add this one in here. Actually, no, I changed my mind. I changed my mind. There's no cost to placing these things because they just come in. The workers come in and build them later. Okay, that'll work better because it'll give me room for a storage barn, because when they harvest, they need to be able to put their crop somewhere. Indecisive about where I'm going to put this. I think I'll go there. I'm going to pause all these. I don't actually want to build them right now. I just want to lay them out. So I know that they're running. I know where they're going to go in the future. That is my goal. So, where am I going from here? I could probably put another house up here, still inside my market circle, which is useful. And I can run some road out here right now. So run road out to there. And out to there, and then what we'll do is we'll put a bridge. I don't want a stone bridge. I want more like just a wood bridge. Oh, I got a stone and wood bridge. Oh, bricks. I haven't done any bricks yet. Small wooden bridge. All right. So everything's paused. So that was a lot of planning. Put everything on pause. But I have the road. The road will get built, and then the bridge will get built. Stockpiles are useful. I'll build a stockpile there. Stockpiles will just collect everything that comes off the ground, basically. Finish some of these roads, make it nice. And then we can do things like some cool decorations. So one of the things that I'm probably going to do is floral hedges or just hedges. Let's do floral. I don't know what these look like going up against each other. Oh, customized hedges. This is what we want. All right. So this toolbar will let me build out like what I want to do. There's a market here. I'm going to replace this stockpile with something more decorative, probably some just some flowers or maybe a little meeting area. Meeting area would be nice, some tables and things like that. Oh, I got another vendor. So let's get these built out. They're all the same color. Yeah, like so. And then I can do a corner there. And there, I'll go one more here. Alright, that'll give me a start. I'll let the builders catch up to that. My builder requirement has went to 40, because the game, of course, assumes that I want all of these built at the same time, which, of course, it doesn't. I just laid down, like, a dozen or more items to build. So if I go back to this guy, what does he got? So I need hemp, and I'd really like wheat. I don't have any of those things. I have herbs. I have rose seeds. I don't know what growing roses do. I might have to try that later. I have cotton. Cotton's very useful, but I already have it. The interesting thing is you only ever need to buy seeds once, then you have them forever, because it's assumed that whenever you grow something, whenever you grow potatoes, one part of your harvest is more potato seeds. I realize you don't grow potatoes from seed, but I guess it's possible somebody grows potatoes from seed. When I was growing up, we just grew potatoes from potatoes. And they're a root. So is that the seed? I don't think that counts as a seed. I assume that when potatoes grow, the plant that comes out of the ground has a seed. All right, so I don't want any of these. Ginger. Yeah, I don't want any of those. So I'll send that trader away without buying anything. So it's late winter. What I'm going to do now is I got 2 crop fields here. I got squash and watermelon. Oh, let's actually take... My production is good. I've grown... Last year I grew 21,500 food. I used 18,800. How did I use that much food? That doesn't make any sense. I only have 100 people. I thought people ate 100 food a year. They may have changed that on me. I don't know. At any rate, and the other thing that I do is I play on this mod. I typically play the Mediterranean map selection. There is actually a map selection where winter is actually covered with snow. I actually grew up in a place where winter was covered in snow, and I'm tired of it. So I actually, when I play the game, I don't get snow. I probably should, because it's actually quite nice. Although it gets very white. Everything gets white. These little symbols mean that they're out of resources. So this guy's out of beeswax. I'm just going to take him out of his job and let the beeswax stack up. This is the tailor. The tailor makes coats from leather and wool, and he's going to be out of leather. And that's fine. Leather, actually, in the early game is quite difficult to come by. Until you get an animal that gives it to you. So now I have... Yeah, I got 14 leather off this field last year. So that's actually quite a bit of leather. So this particular cattle field will actually end up giving me a lot of leather. I could move my cattle up here because this is a much bigger field. That might be something worth doing. Might be. How are my sheep doing? Do my sheep give me leather? Did I decide? They do not. They give me wool and mutton. And I probably have a lot of wool. I have 118. Not a lot. It's not bad though. Oh, I got a fishing dock. I got two people fishing. A Leighton and Blair fishing away. They're fairly healthy. Why aren't you healthier than that? You should be healthier than that. I thought I gave them like everything. I have herbalists and herb members. So these people are... Health is largely dictated by 2 things. One is a variety of food. And if you look at their houses... Oh, it's early spring. I was going to move these fields and I completely forgot. And I let time go by, which is not uncommon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bulk up on food by planting... It's still early spring, so I can start these other 2 fields anytime. My growing season, because I'm in a warmer map, the growing season's quite long. So it's never really a problem to start. Even if it was like late spring, I could still start crops and harvest them in time. I don't have a lot of watermelon. I should have more watermelon. People love watermelon. All right, watermelon. What's my squash? I don't have a lot of squash either. So watermelon and squash. Throw a farmer in there. Throw a farmer in there. My little professions window up here tells me I have 2 laborers and 2 builders. Laborers and builders are special. Laborers will run around the map and do odd jobs. You always want a few laborers. For one, when people die, the laborer takes over their job. This is very important for the school. Getting students educated is super important. And if the teacher dies and there's no laborer to fill the school, all of the students get evicted and then never get educated. And they never get another chance. They instantly become adults. So you do want to make sure that you have at least 1 laborer at all times, just in case the teacher dies. The irony of this game is that they don't really care who does what job, and some jobs are better done by educated people than not. But an uneducated person can be just as good a teacher as an educated person, which is a bit weird. But it is what they do. Oh, am I out of? I am out of lumber. Oh my gosh! Remember I said I always had way too much lumber. Apparently I do not. So let's put my lumber. I was wondering why my sheep butcher wasn't getting finished, and it turns out that I don't have any lumber to actually do it. All right. There my bridge got built. That's a good country bridge, right? Pretty simple, logs and wood. Guess it could have been a bit firmer than that, but that's not bad. Very simple, just to get to this pasture. My stockpile's in here. These trees just like, you can never see through the trees. So I will clear these crop fields now. Mostly just so I can see. I have a weaver, and so once I get cotton, I can actually make cloth out of cotton, and that will lessen my need for leather, because I can use, in some cases, like at the tailor, I can either use 2 leather and 2 wool, or I can use, oh, canvas. Where do I get canvas from? I can see I can use canvas, but I don't know where I can get canvas from. Oh, I know what I needed to do. I needed to make bedding for homewares. I have neither furniture or pottery. I'm out of pottery. I got lots of furniture, but I'm out of pottery. Alright, where's my joiner? Oh, no, my potter. Here's my potter. I think I got lots of clay. Reasonably. I can increase the number of staff in here, but I got people dying off like crazy. I have 13 students right now, so hopefully some of my students graduate soon and get to work. Get to work, you kids. Here's my floral hedge. It'll look a bit better when it's all finished. It is a bit weird that they don't grow the hedge, they just build it. But like I said, the modding community did the best they can with what they were given. I probably can't take the hedge all the way to the water here. It's going to look a little unnatural, but I can take the hedge all the way this way and probably put a gate in here. Should clean up these resources. All right. Apparently my water wheel sawmill has produced 40 lumber and 22 mushrooms. Hello, freelancer. How's it going? Thanks for dropping in. Hello. I am playing Banished. I've never streamed Banished before. It's a very niche little city builder game. It's a ton of fun if you just kind of like want to idle away at like just building something for no apparent reason. And I'm not like it. There is literally no apparent reason. Like this game has no game to it. There's actually a the base game gives you a number of achievements you can achieve. You can only do this with the vanilla without any mods in it. And this is basically the only part of the game that's like a game, is actually reaching not a technology growth. Well, there was like in the base game, but the technology growth arc was essentially like build a wooden house and then build a stone house, and that was it. And then the stone house used less firewood than the wooden house. The modding community has actually built, they've done their best with very little mechanics to work with that actually do provide you some a technology growth arc. So when you start the game, you can really only get wood and stone. And then later, with wood and stone, you can build like the water wheels, a sawmill. There's two sawmills the modders have put in. They put one that you can put on the water, and one that just goes on land. And then it produces lumber. And then there's more advanced buildings that require lumber to make. So you can't build those buildings until you have something that produces lumber. And a lot of what they've done is like your trade buildings, you can't get new seeds for farming and new animals and stuff until you have a trader, but you need lumber to do this. So the modding community is actually built in a bunch of mechanics, but there's no mechanics in the game to say that until you do X, you can't do Y. So they have to do it within a very limited set of mechanics that the game gives. So that bit is actually fun. And it's actually one of the things that I'm trying to do. So for example, these houses, I can build these houses, and then later I can upgrade them to a nicer looking house, but I need rope. But to get rope, I need hemp to make rope. But I don't have hemp until I have hemp seeds. And they come randomly to the trader every once in a while. So there is certainly kind of a technology growth arc to some degree that you can kind of play off of. If you hang around long enough, the trader will come back, assuming I unpause the game and let it play. And then the houses, as you upgrade houses, like these beginning houses hold, they hold 4 people. So when a couple moves into this house, they can only have 2 children. Once the house is filled, they won't have any more children. So they only replace themselves. So what you want to do is build another house soon enough that one of the children will move out, and then the couple will have another child. And then later when you upgrade the house, the bigger houses will hold 5 children or 6 people, and then you get like a huge bump in your population and stuff like that. But to upgrade this house, I need building supplies and homeware supplies. And to get building supplies and homeware supplies, I need advanced products from other buildings and whatnot. So yeah, the modding community has definitely put in. Oh, there's a trader coming down the river. They've definitely put in things that are much more of a game than anything else. So that's one of the things that I'm trying to do now, is to actually get to a point where I can upgrade some of the homes to nicer homes. Come on, land. So this guy's going to give me cabbage, lettuce, herbs, pecans, and field onions. And unfortunately, I don't want any of those. I have a decent number of vegetables already. I have potatoes, squash, and pumpkin. I mean, lettuce is good. I could have lettuce. Really, the only reason you get other seeds is to have different art grow in the fields. I'm hoping to get hemp so I can make rope, and then I'm hoping to get wheat so I can make flour. Although I think if I plant corn, I can turn corn into flour. I could make myself a gluten-free village if I so desired. Maybe I will take lettuce or cabbage. I like both of those things. Honestly, I probably like cabbage more. I'm going to take cabbage. Cabbage is delicious. And I trade charcoal as my main currency. That's what I trade. And that's all I will take. So I can switch one of my fields out next summer or next winter to cabbage and make something different. Oh, I have 2 potato fields. I can switch out one of the potato fields. I started in this little area, and I'm actually trying to build kind of a farming community over here. Oop. Alright, I'm kind of running out of people. I've had a bit of a population dip. Bring this up. So there's my population. This green line is adults. So you can see it kind of dip down. Adults are people at work. So I've had quite the children have done pretty good. You know, I've had a decent number of children, then they kind of went up, which is good. My students obviously just lag behind children. Students become children, or children become students. But my population got old, which typically happens. What am I in year? I'm in year 22 right now, so that's about right. Well, that reminds me, there's another mod that I quite often get. One of the things they do in the game, which is a bit odd, is that like they have seasons and years, and then people have an age, but people actually age more than 1 year in a year. And the vanilla game did that. I think every person ages 4 years every year. And I think it was just meant, I don't know what it was for. I don't know. I guess the original developer. This game is one interesting thing about this developer. If you go to any Banished community and you listen to them, they'll say things like Luke. They'll talk about Luke. One developer built the whole vanilla game by himself. And in fact, I think there's actually, I think I've turned it off. Like, I think he did the music by himself or something. Like, he probably bought the music, I'm sure. I usually actually just listen to my own music when I play this game. I haven't streamed it before, and I don't really have music set up to stream, so I'm not playing any music. And I'll probably get tired of that music rather quickly. But yeah, whatever Luke had decided to do, I don't know why people age the way they do. But there is a mod called 1 Year. Oh! I got a fire. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Oh, this is sad. Oh, this is going to be bad. I forgot that I had disasters on. And of course, a fire broke out in a house. I got to free up some people. So I've got a lot of logs. So I got 6 people employed as foresters, so I'm going to drop that to 4. I have 2 forestry huts. I still have quite a few logs. Drop this guy. Yeah, it frees up a whole bunch of people. Alright. Let my disaster play out. So, I guess I probably shouldn't have built these buildings so close together. Oh, there they go. Get water to it. Get water to it. Go, all you people, go. Yeah, they get water right from... Thankfully, the water is readily available to them, since the building that's on fire is built on the water. But the fire will spread, and it'll spread based on distance, and these things are very close together. Oh yeah, see, this one caught on fire too. Unfortunately, they got to go all the way around over here. And there are a few people now out of a home. Alright, so I can rebuild those, but to be honest, I didn't really like them anyway. They made this area kind of crowded. And the weird thing is, the game doesn't really balance. I have 34 homes and 34 families, but I have people that are homeless, so I'm not exactly sure how that happened or what I'm supposed to do about it. It would be nice if the game would kind of fill up again, put people back into a home. There's actually a structure in the game. You can make there's a type of home that's more like a hotel. So people will move into it, but they'll move out into a home as soon as they can. That can actually be useful in a scenario like this, but this isn't too bad because I didn't really lose that many I still only have 3 people without a home. So I could find the best place to put a house. So whoever lives here is working all the way up here. So I'm guessing I should probably build more homes up here. So these homes are all kind of the same style. They're this rustic abode. If I can find out which one it was. There it is. I think if I build one, that should be enough. So I'm going to remove that home. And remove that home. And while I'm at it, I'm going to remove those. The modders had to do crazy things to make lake buildings work. Because people cut corners, so on all these corners, if you don't put these little, they call them the stay dry corner piece. Literally, it's called the stay dry corner piece. And when people turn this corner, they'll actually fall into the water momentarily and then pop back up. I don't want to delete that one, so we'll leave it there. I do want to get rid of these. And the disaster, the fire, reminded me that I actually need a well. So anywhere that I don't have see, that's a good spot for a well. This is a market and a barn. It's a little close to the butcher, but maybe that's not a bad thing. Drop a well there. And I should probably get a well up here. One there. Speed up the game a bit so we can watch people build stuff. Oh, my sheep butcher's done. And I got another trader. Okay, this guy's kind of just sitting here all by himself. There's no roads or anything. Yeah, that's alright. I'll fix that later. Alright, my trader. Did I get wheat? Big money, no whammies. No. I got hazelnuts. Do I want hazelnuts? I could probably use another. I haven't been getting a lot of tree seeds. There's crop seeds and orchard seeds. I have chestnuts, apricots, and white mulberry, so I will take hazelnuts. Get rid of him. I think one of the interesting parts of this game is that you just build buildings and you say, I want somebody to work here, but you never ever control any of the people. The people just work on the simulation itself. It is late autumn now. I do have a lot of food. I'm definitely growing in food. And again, if I go to my graphs and I look at food over 10 years, it's definitely on kind of a nice upward path. And this is in storage, so it's basically I'm producing more than I'm consuming. It's sort of hard to, as long as you have a good stockpile of food, it's kind of hard to run out. But it is possible, and of course, if you do run out, people will starve to death and die. One of the easiest ways to run out of food, of course, is to have like a building like this with 5,000 food in it or something, and then it burns down. You lose all that food. So you want your storage barns spread out, and your vendors that run the markets will go out to each of your storage barns to fill the market. And then I usually just splatter quite a few little markets around, so each of the markets have a decent inventory of things as well. So, food. Oh, this means they've hit the limit for textiles. Probably because wool. No, I only have 166 wool. I don't know what's pushing up my limit, but I don't care. I will just increase my limit. The limits in the vanilla game, the non-modded game, are actually useful. You can stop. Well, the limits are useful for certain things. Like you don't want your forester to basically cut down the whole forest 1 year and to just fill up all your inventory space. You want them to you want to set a certain limit, and then hopefully you'll control the employees, the workforce, well enough that they cut down what you need, and you have enough to kind of manage the cycles of going up and down while you're building. Oh, I should have... Everybody's building my hedge, is what's going on. I built this nice little decorative hedge over here. And that's what everybody's working on. And by everybody, I mean my 2 builders. There is a tool in the game to increase priority, so I can go and select this, and it will increase the priority of that. Oh, and then it's almost built. This homeless dude's running over here. I'll help you finish it. I need a house. It's winter. Man, we got the 28 of 40. Come on, build it. Get it done. Get it done. stone cutters. Oh, there we go. My rustic abode is done. People moved in. Now we are at 35 homes, 38 families, but nobody's homeless. So the game will actually tell you, the information is kind of useful because there will be people in these homes that could move out. So this 17-year-old can move out. The 6-year-old will not move out. 13-year-old's a student. Oh, there's a 20-year-old laborer. So yeah, if I built another house, there was a female and a male in here that would actually move in together, which I will have to do fairly quickly. I didn't get much done tonight. What am I into this for? About 90 minutes. I got a little bit of my farm community planned out. So I built and planted an orchard. I got cotton. That I did do. I did get cotton going. I don't actually remember. Oh, I have a bedding maker. I don't know why that got modded. You're getting pretty big and fancy there. I have no idea what automod does. I don't. I have no idea. I have the Colonial Charter and Megamod installed. So, like, the decorations panel gets insane. Yeah, this is one of these fun games that I will probably play for decades. It's just so, yeah, these decorations get crazy. Like, it's just, and some of these, like Freelancer asked about the technology arc. Some of these are tough. Like, some of these decorations, this requires jade. It's very hard to get jade just to make this little statue. But yeah, some of them are, well, you can have open fires. That's cool. Yeah, there's no real graphics. The only animations in the game are is the smoke and the people. The people animate, but like the water wheel won't animate. They can't make it spin. Which is too bad. But yeah, I was going to move these 3 crop fields out of here and then build kind of a city center here. So I want a town hall, probably a church, a big church, and maybe a college or something like that. There's a couple other. It's a pretty simple school. There's the college. You know, college is a nice looking building. I can build something like that. It's got the clock tower. I don't know if the clock tower is stuck at 1204. What was the clock tower in Back to the Future? I don't remember. At any rate, I was going to do some of those things. But I got my cattle up to 13. Somebody's going to get harvested here. I'm getting some beef, which is nice to see. It was 10:04 p.m. Oh, it wasn't even that late. 10:04 p.m. Oh, here comes another trader. I could start clearing this bare pasture out now. Actually, what I should do before I do that is build another little... Clearing takes a lot of work just because they got to haul all the things back. a stockpile there. Bump up the priority on it. Alright. I'm going to call it here after I see if this trader, big money, no whammies, do I get wheat or hemp? I need wheat and hemp. Wheat and hemp. Wheat and hemp. Yeah, there's the other thing the mods do, they give you a bunch of different roads. So there's some very nice looking roads in the game. Ah, I get red Frisian cows. I'm happy with my white ones. So this is my little artisan area, which will be the artisan area. I'll probably upgrade these homes. And then probably make it a little walled off little community. And then some of the roads that I get. Where were some of these roads are super cool. Oh, there's a dock road? What is it, like a corduroy road? Ah, city roads, texture 2. Yeah, so there's these wonderful roads that have a road down the middle and then stone sidewalks on each side. So obviously, like this little path that's going down here will actually turn into kind of a main thoroughfare between this market and the big city urban center over here, and then the artisan center over here, and then the farming center over here. And then there'll be another stone path probably out toward my industrial area over here, where I'm doing things like iron ore and whatnot. So at any rate, that's why I play this game. It's like I get to like create this little story with this little town and kind of watch the people. Carlo has become an adult and is working as a laborer. Good job. Way to enter the workforce, Carlo. Nice to see you finally out of school. At any rate, I'm going to call it here. It was quiet in chat. Hopefully there was a few lurkers checking out Banished. This is if you like a city player game, I'll probably stream this like every once in a while. I actually play it just about every night because it's like one of these little model games where you can play it for like half an hour just to do a little bit and just to add a little bit to your model. I've been playing this particular town for probably 5 or 6 weeks now. It doesn't actually take that long to grow. You could probably grow a town this size in 6 or 8 hours. I just take my time at it and just kind of build it and kind of tell my own little story and remember where it all started right here. This was the original warehouse and whatnot. And anyway, it's very cool. I believe it's on Steam. It's probably actually you can get it just about anywhere. I should drop a link to it. It's done by a super independent developer, which is to say it's entirely written by one person. And then the mod for it is free. So that's the game. You can buy it directly from him or you can buy it from Steam. And then the big mod that I'm using, Colonial Charter and Mega Mod, are both worked on by those guys. And that's just a forum site. You can go in there. I don't know how active they are. Oh, the last forum post was Wednesday, so they might still be active. Anyway, it's a terrifically fun little game if you like to get into just kind of not super gamey city building games. There's no combat at all. There's disasters. that you have to attend to, but there's no combat in the game. It's just build a little town. That's all it is. At any rate, thanks everybody for coming out. Freelancer, what else? Thanks for popping into chat. Always nice to see. I don't suppose there's like anybody actually streaming Banished. I might actually be the only person. Oh, I don't even have Banished on my... Yep, I am the only person streaming Banished. Thank you. Thank you. What else? Hopefully we'll see you soon, for sure. All right, I'm just going to call it here. Hopefully everybody has a great night. And maybe we'll see a few people this weekend. That would be awesome. All right. Take care, everybody. Have a happy Thursday. Hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon. Good night.